There and back again. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. I really should hibernate, Grossi, and today just wanted to take a couple minutes just to wrap this entire thing up in a bow that is 30 and 30, and just to thank you once again, because I feel like I cannot thank you enough. And I'll be spending a good long time thanking you because I'm just filled with so much gratitude. And it's been a week now since I've been home, almost a week until like the exact end of 30 and 30 when we put the video out. And there's just been so much that has happened to try and process. There are boxes of gifts that I need to go through upstairs that I will be doing for Friday Night Q&A tonight. And yeah, it just seems like every few minutes I'm reminded of just something awesome that happened during this trip. And I want to just spend a couple minutes just giving you some updates and kind of just where things go from here, because while you might not see some immediate changes, things are going to be a little bit different. And a lot of it is because of 30 and 30. So let's start off with the most important thing. So we hit $500,000 raised for St. Jude on Monday. We are officially up to $511,000. The link is either closed or is going to be closing tonight. I spoke to St. Jude about that. And again, I just wanted to thank you because that was you. You know, a big shout out to Pat McAfee, a big shout out to the Steelers, a big shout out to all the NFL teams that hosted us and donated things to be auctioned off for the fans. But besides $26,000, $25 from Pat and $1,000 from the Steelers, all of these funds came from fans. Like, this was all you. So I just want to thank you so much for not only supporting this, but for supporting St. Jude and giving them a life-changing amount of money. I wanted to raise more, and I wish we could have. And there will be time for all of that and future endeavors where we are going to raise a ton of money for amazing organizations. But I just want to thank you for that, because last year we raised $102,000 for various charities, and considering as of March 8th, we were at $18,720, and now we're going to be near $530,000 for the year. It just makes me really happy to see what this platform can do. And again, this doesn't happen without you. And I feel like there are sometimes creators who are just like, I did it. I raised all this money. But again, it's very important to recognize where that came from. And that came from you. A special shout out has to go to Mitchell, you beautiful, beautiful son of a gun. Mitchell was our leading donator, donating over $25,000 to St. Jude. And as I said, when I announced this, the top donator, regardless of if we hit $1 million or not, would get opening day tickets to the team of their choice. I spoke with Mitchell, and Mitchell, who just embodies this community, has decided to donate those tickets that he rightfully earned to go to St. Jude. And so that will help St. Jude out, and it just speaks to the chaotic good of what we're doing out here. And yeah, it's just freaking shout out to Mitchell. Like, just amazing. A big thank you to all the teams that hosted us. There were 18 NFL teams that we wound up working with. A big shout out to all the fans, people who donated, watched, shared all of this. Obviously, some special people out there as well. Ryu going to 14 different fan events. The mods for not only just meeting up in person, but also keeping things under control on the internet space. But to be honest, there wasn't much to keep in line because everything was so positive. The comments were positive. The streams that we did were positive. And so, like, this was just filled with positivity. And I received an email from the NFL a couple of days ago, basically saying, like, oh, it was fun to watch your journey and all that great stuff. But the thing that stuck out to them was the couple times that they posted the videos on their community tab, the comments under the community tab were so positive, and they commented on how that usually isn't the case, and which the internet, as we all know, could be a very, very negative place. And that was something too that really stood out to me, is that at these fan events, there were no issues. There were none. There were no issues. It was just a place where we all got to hang out, have an amazing time, and just like be there for a great cause. And that was something that really kind of left a mark on me and reinforced this idea of, you know, what this community is, and just building it for 8 years and constantly just using any of that influence, and I hate that, but using it just to do good, to point at a restaurant and be like, hey, let's go support this local business, or hey, this is an amazing charity, let's go point and support this. And that's what this was about. It allowed me to go through a ton of changes, especially mentally. Just as I mentioned in the earlier episodes, I disassociate a lot. That people were just out there to support their team, represent their fan base and their city and all that great stuff. But the Grossi chants and the constant outpouring of love, whether it was in person or it was online, was so overwhelming. It actually finally got through. And so I'm just so appreciative of this. I'm appreciative of you. And yeah, this is something that has changed the way I want to do content. It changed the way that I viewed myself. It changed the way that I kind of just my goals. You know, as you all know, we're in the race to hit 500,000 subscribers, and it's going to take a little while to get there. And I've had the goal for quite some time. I want to hit 1 million subscribers. But after and during this trip, yeah, I want to raise $1 million for charity really bad. It's surpassed the subscriber mark, because if we're able to do what we did on this trip, and that's with thousands of people from every single state, from overseas, from military bases, if we're able to accept every single person who wants to be a part of this, who loves football, who just wants to do some good stuff, I mean, I don't see where the ceiling is. So, yeah, I'll be getting out there again. It might not look like 30 and 30, but I'll be getting out there again, because it was amazing. And it was the time of my life. And there are a lot of other people that I have thanked and also want to thank again. There's so many people. A big shout out to people like Vanessa, Pastor, Johnny Rockford for making all those thumbnails that you saw for every single video. Tyler Herrick for making the amazing shorts, in which he should definitely be employed by an NFL team. I gotta thank Mama and Papa Grossi for managing the zoo while I was gone. And of course, the guy who was able to capture the magic that was out there and somehow make it even better, Johnny Barks. Johnny Barks and I did not meet in person before this. I've only known Johnny for about a year. He's been helping edit for a little bit now. This was our first time meeting besides the Hot Ones challenge we did virtually for the fundraiser in December. So, a big shout out to frickin' Johnny Barks, the legend. So, going forward, there will be some content changes. You know, next year, I already have a couple of things that are in the works and being planned, because I've been home for a whole week. I'm already slacking. Coach Season 5 will be coming out in the next few weeks. It will be coming out. You know, apologies for the delay on that. Kind of had to go do a thing. And then we're going to be jumping back into regular content on Monday, which is going to feel weird. It's definitely going to be strange, but I feel like after this week, we'll have a nice reset. Friday night Q&A tonight, and we'll get back to business, and we'll see where things take us. But folks, thank you so much for everything. A big shout out to everybody who helped us along the way. Y'all were incredible. And it's something I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.